Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Sorry about last week. We had some stuff going on. I had to go to a wedding. My good friend Colton Scrivener is now a married man. He's taken, ladies. Taken. That's right. Spooky man.
Congratulations to Colton.
Colton Scrivener, owner of the Peabody, owner of the Eureka Zombie Walk in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, owner of the Bodega.
Boo.
Owner of the
book. Morbidly Curious.
Morbidly Curious. If you haven't checked that book out, go ahead and check it out.
That's the American fucking way.
In fact, we're doing. Ooh. Uh-oh. What's that mean? That can only mean one thing, Jeremy.
There is definitely going to be a shootout.
Mm-hmm. Because we told everybody, hey, we weren't going to do anything bad, but guess what? My title changed. My title changed. Anyway, so we're gonna wait for more people to pile in here. I'm sure that there was some buzz this week in the paranormal field, but there's also buzz going on in the debunkers. I sit on my fat ass and I say, "Oh, that's not real," and I'm a debunker. Not how debunking works, ever. Debunkers are actually scientifically well set. They mostly have degrees, mostly in science and engineering, to actually debunk facts. But that's okay. That's okay. We can just sit on our ass and call each other debunkers. But that's okay.
I debunked it because I said it.
In fact, everybody coming at the Pitbull earlier in the year, they're all at each other's asses right now. They're all at each other right now. It's amazing to watch them melt. And I wish them all luck and the best. I don't. That's what I would say to them. Hey, listen. Hey, look, Confessions is here. Or Jocelyn, who just, we smelled a picture earlier, did we not? We smelled a picture earlier. We did. Hello, spookable hauntings. Spookable meaning maybe spookable.
Or maybe they could get spooked.
Hey, if you're crazy enough and you want to join the thread and join us, go ahead, because we don't give a shit. Come on down. Is Mandy sitting this one out? I don't know. I gave her the link. I hope she comes. Are you just here for Mandy, Jules? Am I not good enough anymore for you? But it is interesting that you say that, because you know the topic. You know the topic, and you've been very forthcoming about this topic. And I appreciate a lot of people out there that have been helping and raising up our good friend Stephanie. She had a hard decision to make, and we're going to touch a little bit on that. But, some of the things that I was doing this week was trying to understand, I don't understand why everybody's mad at her.
Nope. It makes no sense.
It didn't make any sense. And then there's all these half pregnant posts like, oh, we love Stephanie. Fuck the villa because this guy. And I'm like, wait a minute. All right. So I had a couple of different phone calls. I'm not mentioning this person, but I had a really good phone call with somebody that I kind of like. I liked how her approach is. She's military. She's pretty badass. We had a long discussion. And last year, not to mention, Stephanie is a sweetheart. She is. And she's fucking crazy. And I love her. But one of her good friends, like Melissa, needs to put her in timeout on Facebook for a little bit. Just, take a couple days.
Yeah. Yep.
Have a sandwich, have a ham sandwich, have a fridge cig. That's what I would. These are actually, so fridge cigs are full 12-ounce cans. The small ones I'm calling Silver Princes. This is my Silver Prince right here. And we're going to need him tonight because I've had to get through a lot of Stephanie stuff. And honestly, we were the first to interview her. And I don't think a lot of people understood that. I know she has a lot of friends and she has a lot of people, but we were the first. In 2000, and you're absolutely right, Karen. That is just stuff. She doesn't need to be online. She's just like that in real life. That's the cool thing about her, though. It's like that's not an online persona. That's who she is. And if you've met her, that's who she is. And so when I saw people I love what ISSs do. I respect Adam Kimmel. I respect Addy. I thought his post was a little harsh. The whole marked safe from Lance Zoll thing is, it's, I understand. I was cornering it, and I understand I want to empathize here. I want to make sure that people understand, because if they read this or watch this tomorrow or whatever, I do want to empathize with some of you guys who've had bad experiences at the Lizzie Borden house or Villisca Axe house with Johnny Hauser. You know, here's the thing with the Johnny Hauser thing. Johnny Hauser is a great guy. He's been super quiet this year. So I don't know if his exit meant that it was his exit. And I don't know Lance as personally. Now, last year we had another podcast, and we're not really going into that, but it was on our docket. I'll say it that way, because somebody wanted us to kind of pursue this Lance Zoll. And we did a little bit last year. We did dig in a little bit to Lance Zoll and what he was doing with Villisca, because, you know, Johnny Hauser was not only a brother in gear, right? Because he's a motorcycle, he's a cycle head and gearhead. So, you know, as garage brothers, we're kind of like, you know, we defend our own, like everybody should. And we didn't like that he was fired, because we thought the experiences that we had with Johnny Hauser were amazing. They were really good. He understood Villisca, and I really thought that it was going to go to him. And I think everybody did. And I don't know if there were contracts in place. I don't know if it was something that was said, but, you know, we were pretty mad and we were pretty offended. And so we went after Lance a little bit last year. And so I have to wear two hats tonight. And I think that it's smart that we do. I got to put on my MBA, right, from FAU, right? So I have a Master's of Business Administration. I have a Master's of Fine Art in Visual Communication, and I'm studying for my JD. So here's the thing. What Stephanie was tasked to do, and I believe she did go on the Souls and this whole, not to put anybody down, but the title was a little soap opera-y, you know. After McInteer, I was like, all right, bro. It's a little on the nose, bud. But whatever, it's fine. I mean, she went on the show. I was surprised she went on the show, Jeremy, or were you surprised that she went on the show?
I was flat shocked.
Yeah. I was put out, and I was like, okay. But she did the show. She did a good job. She recently put up a video where you saw the person that we met in 2018 at a Paracon in KC, where she had just bought the villa. She was then with her husband, who turned out to be, that's another story altogether. I met him once. I believe women, so I believe her, and what she's had to deal with on top of everything else. I'm empathetic toward that. And I have been in really bad relationships. I've been divorced twice. I've been there. I know what she's going through, and to have to stay in a situation like that while you're trying to take over the world in paranormal and do the right thing. I do want to just say right now that listing some of her achievements that are incredible for one single white female to do in Atchison, Kansas, where there is not much out there. She was able to rank McInteer Villa underneath Zach Bagan's #1 haunted location in the world. And that is no small task. That is a huge victory. And watching her rise, watching her do that, a woman, right? Losing her father, who initially gave her some funds to get it, the ties that she has to the family there. And I think that when we're posting and we don't know Stephanie, or we've never been to the villa, or we've never investigated the villa, I think we have to do this thing where we guard our sentences, that we look before we post. We read, and, you know, because, you know, I got into some trouble with those debunkers and shit like that. And there's things I shouldn't have said, right? I won't apologize, but there's probably things I probably went too far. I also was on a podcast where I thought it wasn't going out to everybody. I thought it was just like this private thing because she had a big channel, but it was a big miscommunication. At the end, it's been resolved. Nothing really happened. There was a couple lawsuits out of it, which we won. And most of the ones that came after me were dismissed with prejudice. So the idea that, you know, somebody undertakes this, like Stephanie is this fitness person that once again shows tenacity, once again shows what she's able to accomplish, having been a personal trainer and certified in multiple levels from strongman to powerlifting to bodybuilding and getting back into it, as you can see, like I'm getting big again. And I said I wasn't going to do that, but I can't help it. But the thing about bodybuilding and lifting is mental strength. It's mental strength. It's a discipline. And what she was able to do with her body, she was able to do with the bones of a building, is the best way I can describe it. That analogy of taking this place that I had never heard of. I had never seen a movie, read a book. And I think me and Jeremy have been investigating for close to 30 years, probably 60 years combined. I didn't really, I know you were at PTF for a very long time. I didn't know that. Did you know about McInteer before Stephanie? Did you had heard
I
of
did
it?
not. Nope.
No. And you were
That
with,
weekend was the first time I've heard of it.
yeah, and you were with the large, I just want to put this out there. You were with the largest team in the Midwest at the time, where these people were rivaling getting a TV show between them and Ghost Adventures. That's how big PTF was. I don't think people understand what Katie now runs is that was the team. That was the team that put paranormal investigations on the map in the Midwest. Like, it's a huge fucking team, man. And at that time, McInteer Villa is not on the map. It's not something that we know, and I'm from the South, so never heard of it. But had heard of MSP, had heard of Lent Mansion, right? But not McInteer. So you have to understand the establishment of 2008 to 8 years, right? 8 years. For 8 years, she ran an establishment. She put it on the map, and using her same discipline and God-willing gifts, not the Mid-South, the South. But she was able to bring this to an occasion where somebody like a Lance Zoll would look at that and say, hey, I'm selling this place. And she sold it. And so from a business standpoint, right, so I can switch my hat real quick, that's called an exit strategy. And if you don't have one in place, you're not a business person, right? Because part of a business plan is understanding that you will probably fail. You're going to fail. 99% of first-time business owners will fail. And if you don't have the money to carry you for 3 years, you're going to fail. And if you as you'll see, because I'm not doing this episode on Stephanie, I'm doing this episode on the person that now owns it. So Stephanie had nothing to worry about. I don't know if Stephanie's working with him, but Stephanie is doing what everybody should be doing when you sell something. Have a little bit of attachment to it, right? Because part of the brand of McInteer is O'Reilly. It's just the way it is. You could sell McInteer at 10 times over. Everybody's always going to remember Stephanie. She branded it. That's in marketing is a signature look and feel. There's no ifs, ands, or ways about it. If you liked her, if you didn't like her, if you had great experiences or bad experiences, or if you're one of these genius debunkers that sat there for 6 hours and claimed it wasn't haunted, because that's how that's done.
That's the American fucking way.
It's actually not. It takes more than 6 hours to detail if something is haunted or not. I mean, Harry Price only spent, 10 fucking years at Borley Rectory. I saw a weird comment today that I'm going to get into later. They brought up the Charles Sutton fucking argument. Like, this person tried to sound really sophisticated about Charles fucking Sutton. We'll get into that later if we can. I don't know, but fuck, did that fuck with me so much. God, did it piss me off. Charles Sutton was one of these people that was jealous of Harry Price because of Harry Price's notoriety. And so we'll get into Charles Sutton if we have time later, or we'll make it a bedtime story for next week. But this idea that when you are connected, Borley Rectory will always be Harry Price. Okay? 1920s, always Harry Price. Doesn't matter who owns it. Doesn't matter who goes on. It's always Harry Price. That's Borley Rectory. You can say that about a lot of the Lemps will always be the Pointers. Always. Ashmore will always be Robin Terry. As much as I love Ashley and she taking over, it'll always be the Terry family. It always will. Because they branded it. They made it what it is. Ashley will take that legacy and do her own spin, and she'll be just as successful. But the inheritance of having these properties and building them is part of the brand experience that is so hard to captivate, especially when corporations move in and they do these things. So I applaud Stephanie O'Reilly for not only taking on the task of doing that, building a foundation for ghost hunters and for investigators. And then I also applaud her for her decision to do what she had to do. In business, it is the hardest decision of your life is to walk away from something. Me and Jeremy have had to walk away from a lot of things. We've had to not shutter the doors, but vault them, put them on hold or shelve them for now, right? It just wasn't working. It wasn't making us money, especially last year, where we had dedicated a better part of a year and a half establishing a company and getting it to the place where we believed it was very successful. And then everything that came from that was basically not only hurtful, but shocking and a waste of money and sweat equity and time. And I can say that openly and honestly, because that is my feelings and my feelings are valid because I lived it. And although I've walked away from those experiences, that's different from having an exit strategy, right? We weren't planning that, but okay. So when you look at Stephanie's situation from a business standpoint, it's a smart decision. You list it for sale, you take a buyer. And I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty. We've heard so many stories online and nothing that I could find about this mortgage thing and all this crap. Listen, she made a good statement today and she made a lot of good points today, even though she made the post private. If you don't own a property, don't say that you're marked safe from Lance Zoll. You're in a different category, man. Like, if you want to sound cool, be educated. Stop being so fucking ignorant. Just don't be ignorant about shit. Lance was a failure. I don't think a lot of you guys know who Lance is. You guys know Lance because of Lizzie Borden or you know Lance because of Johnny Hauser. But you don't know who Lance is. In fact, I was on a couple different fake accounts and I was trying to school people and try to quiz people on, well, who's Lance? Tell me all about him. Only one person could answer any question. Out of 20 fucking people, only one person knew something that he did. And if this is true, I would say oh boy. So in anybody that is business, I did the research. I did the homework, right? Good lawyers do this, right? The first stage of anything. Good investigators is what? It's research. You investigate things, you understand things, you can compartmentalize certain things. So my well wishes for Stephanie is she's in a better place. She's in a safe space. She's able to breathe again. Being under that type of debt and that type of stress because you're trying to do something for the fucking community. And even though it's tearing you apart as a person, you have to make a decision at that point that is your life worth this? And she says that very clear. And that's nothing to balk at. We've been in situations where high stress, high debt, all these things not happening, right? Then having some debunker walk into fucking town. And I'm not saying that he's the reason, right? But it doesn't fucking help, right? Like you're destroying somebody's business and livelihood because you have to have what? 3 or 4 of the same fucking people like your ass and kiss your ass. Like, that's not what this show's about. If I get 8 people watching us, great. If I get 10 people tomorrow, great. If I get 100 views, awesome. Glad you were here. We're glad you're here. Okay. Have a fridge cig, light up a cig, do whatever the fuck you want, honestly. But you're absolutely, yeah, Jay said it here. Like, you can't do anything if you are not healthy. If this is emotionally tearing you a fucking part because you are so loved by, you are still loved by the community, Stephanie. It doesn't fucking matter if you own McInteer. You are McInteer. You will be McInteer from here to the end of fucking time, babe, because that's the way brands work. Nobody ever remembers the second owner of something. They fucking don't. As much as you try to rebrand something, the only time the second or third owner is known is because it failed, and you did not fail. 8 years in business is successful. Regardless of how it ended, it is successful. It is hard what you did, and you did it. And now so many people know about this area in Atchison who, let's just take a step back real quick, not to kiss her ass too much, but I do love Stephanie. You were competing with Sally House. Like the most notorious fucking haunted house. And you did it.
I used to watch that guy get cut. I used to watch Tony get cut on TV.
Right. And then
Like
being
on sightings.
And then having Jocelyn, who I believe is still in the comments here, having everything that Sally House was go to her. And she's this curator now. That if you're ever sitting alone at house and thinking that you're a failure, you're fucking not, dude. You competed with one of the most incredible, proven haunted places. Multiple times proven that it's fucking haunted. And you did it. You stood your ground and you did your own thing. And you had a ball doing it. And people loved you for it. And you're still part of this community. And you're always going to be associated with that building that you put on the map. And not many fucking people can say, I can't say that. I can't say that. I'm staring at fucking 20 awards in front of me and pictures of all these posts and all this newspaper shit. And I'm going on a podcast tomorrow. I can't say that. I can't say I put a haunted destination on the map. I can't. Even though I'm the director of events for Emmaus, that's Mandy and Ben. That ain't me. And I've been very clear about that. I'm not at a lot of events. I don't welcome a lot of people. I am simply just helping them. That's all me and Jeremy are doing. We try not to be the face of the place. We're in the garage. We're working on cars. And yes, we do have a snake called Hist. He got out. It's fine. He put the welder away today. But we also have baby deer. So if you don't like snakes, we have baby deer. We have baby Jeremiah. Come see Jeremiah. Come hold Jeremiah. Don't hold Jeremiah, please. If you guys know who Jeremiah is, it's funny. But you were able to do something that a lot of people couldn't do in this industry, and that's sustain. And I met the original owner of the Garnet House, who's a really good dude. Never heard of him. People know Stephanie Riley and have never fucking met her. And that says something. So you're always going to be connected with the place, regardless. From years to come, at least in this generation, at least wherever Paranormal goes, and I don't know where that is. But what I did want to do tonight was talk about the person that bought it, because I think he deserves a fair shake. Okay? I understand the Hauser thing. I understand the Lizzie Borden thing. And I have the good, the bad, and the ugly in here. This is not me just praising Lance, but last year I came at Lance and really didn't know a lot about him. And so what I've been doing the last couple weeks is trying to understand who this guy is, and how he was able to do this. And I think some of it is very impressive. And I think that any reasonable person, any person that considers themselves an investigator has to know both sides. He'll never get the Sally House. It's owned by the city.
Yep, it's owned by the city of Atchison.
And they have no plans. So you don't have to worry about that. But I've heard a lot of the comments, and I didn't want to post people's stuff because everybody's entitled to their opinion. We're not the debunk community where we eat each other. We respect each other's opinions. And, you know, we've gotten really good at this year. I've seen a lot more come together with investigators and collaborations, like Patriot Paranormal being one of them, collabing with a bunch of teams. I love seeing that. That is fucking awesome. It's encouraged us to do that. There are other teams doing that. I mean, Jay's been out to the property fucking 3 or 4 times now. He's kind of making it his lab, and he's doing the good work of an investigator. That's what investigators do. They continue to come out and they spend hours and days. I think this is going to be 48 hours he might have logged for Emmaus this year. And that's what good investigators do. They come out, they study, they try to make things happen. Again, that scientific method, trying to make it something happens. Is Lance Zoll in it for the business, or is he in it for what we love, right? The ghost hunting and stuff. Here are the things that I can say. Lizzie Borden's house is available to you, and the history is available to you, and you can go and you can visit it. The Villisca Axe house is available to you, and you can go and you can visit. A couple weeks back, me and Jeremy went up to Misty Manor, and it's gone. I took a video that I'll show tonight that broke my heart because I can't tell you how many times Jeremy invited me out, and I was just so goddamn busy all the fucking time to go to our famed Tri-County truck stop. You can't visit that anymore. You can't visit Misty Manor anymore. You can't visit Mineral Springs anymore. So maybe Titans own these places, but it still gives you the opportunity to be in history. And for that, you can't deny what Lance is doing is good. Is he changing history? Could not find anything on that. He's not changing history. Did he commercialize it? Does he make some shitty shirts about wax and sure. Lemp Mansion does that too. There's Ouija boards with Billy's face on it. And as Lemp historians, it hurts us to see that. Billy was more than that. Billy deserves more than that. But it's also a business, and a business has to make money. And if you don't make money, you lose the business. And you hope and pray that the next person that comes in that business can sustain it. These historic properties, like we're facing right now with rain and roofs, are hard to manage. And watching ISS build their roof and saving that property was amazing. And that's why I give so much credit to Addie and Adam Kimmel. And I can't condone what Stephanie said, but Stephanie's feelings are valid. But that's not my feelings toward it. People have opinions. I might not agree with them. Clearly this guy Lance is out for himself, and that's okay, right? That's okay. He's a businessman, but he has
The
done
American way.
That's the American fucking way.
It is, Jeremy. I'm going to let you talk a little bit before we get through this. But what are your feelings so far? Because I'm hogging the mic here for 20 minutes. So go ahead.
I think my thought is, if all these people are upset that she sold it, then you should have booked an event and been there and supported her and paid your money to investigate it. Like that's how you save it.
Yeah.
That's how you help her. She's there. You can book it. You can book it on a Wednesday.
Yep.
I mean, we got bookings at Emmaus on weekdays. I know Robin Terry does that too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all these people are upset that she sold it to this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I really, you know what? Just like everything, I really I don't care.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be upset at her for selling it, then you should have booked events there. And then she wouldn't have sold it because she would have been making more money and way less stress. You could never, I got friends who are leaving my building. I'm a teacher, if you didn't know. I got friends who are leaving my building, this year. And am I upset that they're going? Fuck yes. But I can never blame anybody for doing the right thing for them.
That's right.
And that's what I told them when they were leaving. I was like, I'm going to miss you, but I can't be mad at you for doing what's right for you. I got to do what's right for me. And so did Stephanie.
Yep.
So give her a break.
Yeah. I mean, like, because even though you guys don't understand how, some of you do. And Melissa, I don't know if you're watching this, but that's one of her closest friends. And I admire Melissa so much, even though she came at me and it was a miscommunication and she deleted her comment, which was awesome. But I admire her a lot because she's a ride or die. Like I love my friends. I love my paranormal group. But the only one that ever always has my back is Jeremy. When I was going through all that shit this year, nobody came to my aid, bro. Jules, fucking Jules Fadak, dude, was one person that I can say fucking had my back, dude. And I will forever have her back. Like, because she didn't need to do that. And she did to the end, to the better end. And I know, and I'm not mad at anyone that didn't. That's not your job. That's not your job to put yourself in that predicament, right? There's a difference between ride or dies, and there's a difference between, man, I really don't want drama in my life, man. I just can't do it. I can't deal with it. I can't handle it. So don't feel that I'm attacking you for not defending me, right? But seeing people that came to my aid because they were maybe in a similar situation or in the same situation, and doing those things, it's amazing that she has that support system, you know, and that's important. She needs that. She definitely needs that. So I applaud her friends, and the tenacity to be there when she says something and they're in the goddamn thread. I never had to worry about Stephanie. I had made some comments like, hey man, you got this. You're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it. But I'd always see Melissa in there and all these ride or dies in there, just like, fuck off, you know, which is exactly what that feels like. And I can speak to that. You know, you feel very, very alone when you're being attacked, which is why yesterday we had to kind of clear the air a little bit. Like, hey, babe, I'm not coming after you. Never will. But also she's supporting Lance in what they're trying to do. Lance is bringing a lot of money to the villa. I didn't know that the porch has been inactive for 50 years. I did not know that. I've actually never been to McInteer. We've
never made it.
Yeah, we had booked it last year and the tickets didn't sell. And that's partly probably for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
But I was in charge of that. So I actually was the one that I called it, you know. I probably should have just kept it and our team could have done it. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't know that, you know, and he has vowed $25,000 already to restore that, to bring it back to its original beauty. And from a historic standpoint, you have to admire that. Sometimes you have to take the man out of the equation because, God, I wish I had that type of money to do that. I wish I could put a roof on a man's. I really do. I really fucking do. And I just don't. My investments are in cars and fine art, jewelry, a lot of gold, and my house and my kid. I got a 14-year-old going into high school, you know? And so some people are able a little bit more flexible. So you can have your opinions about Lance and your feelings are valid. I want you guys to know that too. Like, this is not a parade for Lance because we'll get into it and we'll explain to you like who this person is. Okay. First of all, he's a Marine Corps combat veteran and he did 3 deployments in 2002 to 2006. He studied economics and international relations at William and Mary that earned an MBA. Now, there's some reports that he has an MBA from Harvard. That's not true. His own profile never said Harvard. It has always said William and Mary. And I saw somebody's post a couple weeks ago, which is why I looked that up. Lance never claimed he went to Harvard, ever. That was some internet jewel shit. So he went to William and Mary. If you don't know William and Mary, it's in Colonial Williamsburg. It is a very, very good school. They have one of the best law programs too. They're yellow and green. They have Green Bay Packer colors. And the campus is extremely haunted. That's how I know William and Mary. It's in Virginia. He's a serial entrepreneur across tourism, hospitality, and software. He's actually in my background, software. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, I've worked with engineers before and people in software. Could be a little bit tism there. He's founder and CEO of US Ghost Adventures and the travel software brand Junket or Turismo, which I'm very familiar with. He has 100+ US cities with tours and pub crawls. 2018 launched his current tourism venue. He has 3 landmark haunts owned. He owns the Lizzie Borden House, he owns the Brick House Inn, and he owns McInteer Villa. He also owns the Villisca Axe House. It was 4. So he actually has 4 right now. I did this a couple weeks ago. But I want you guys to understand like who the person you're yelling at. Here's the good though. And this is where like I think a lot of people don't take the time to do podcasts like this. Me and Jeremy are documentarians. We don't have an opinion on Lance Saul. We're not allowed to. So this is your mini doc on a person that so many people have hated for so many years. All because he's successful? Because I couldn't find anything. Oh, wait a minute. I did. But let's go through the good. He's a combat veteran and leader. He enlisted at 17 years old, right around 9/11. Saw his country being attacked and joined. He served as a sergeant. I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to become a sergeant in the military, but that job requires leadership. And you have men's hands and women lives in your hands when you make decisions. He did 3 deployments and credits the Marines for his management style, which makes absolute fucking sense. Marines are kill them all and let God sort them out. So everything's starting to click. Real comeback. He bet his savings on a tour app in 2013, was broke and in debt by 2014. Knew exactly what Stephanie's situation was because he lived it. Understood where she was in her life with a mortgage, with a haunted destination, dealing with a crazy ex-husband that was that situation and everything else in her life. So he understood it. He could relate to it. He can empathize with it, but he can also look at it from a business standpoint. Then he rebuilt into a national operator. Genuine scale, grew U.S. Ghost Adventures to 100+ cities and bought and restored landmark haunted properties. And this is the part I want you guys to look at. He built and he restored haunted locations that are here for us. Now, you can hate them and not go, but just know that if you're ever curious or get hooked on something, you're able to go see those places because of entrepreneurs like this. Might not agree with his management style, might not agree with the commercialization. You got to do that though. You're in a fucking tourist trap, dude. You know, I was just in Eureka Springs. It's a tourist trap. Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg.
I was just in Branson.
You were just in Branson, exactly. An hour from me. We're never that far apart, friend.
Nope, we are not.
He founded Ghost of Liberty in 2022, which I thought was really cool. And Ghost of Liberty from 2022 was to aid Ukraine over 3 trips and the Ignition Center of 2016 to mentor entrepreneurs. So not only was he giving money to the Ukraine, but he was sponsoring trips and then raising people up that were small business owners. So this is his background. We don't talk about. We only want to talk about how he stuccoed the axe marks in. And I don't know if that's true, but I heard this, that he stuccoed the axe marks in Villisca, which might have been by mistake. I don't know, but if that's true. So this is where the bad comes in. Questionable judgment. Okay, he spread too thin, and by his own admittance, this is what I also like about him. He owned what happened to him. By his own account, he launched a coffee company, a brewery, and more at once, losing focus before refocusing on tourism in 2020. He lost both of them, and he lost his entire life savings to an app that went nowhere. But oddly enough, the app did get traction later. It was just a little before its time. Growth by keyword, names and list tours for search visibility, SEO, which repeatedly plants his brand on top of local operations turf. This is where he started gaining a reputation of what we call in engineering gaming. This is when you game SEO and you try to get all points to point to you. But when something bad happens, it points to something similar. You understand what I'm saying? He's not getting the credit for the bad things. He's getting the credit for the good things because he'd used certain similar names. So it was confusing to some people. Friction as a feature, expansion routinely ignites disputes with the small incumbents already looking. So this is a huge thing for the local, and it's going to get funny here in a minute because the judge in the case was really fucking funny. So this is where we get into the ugly trademark wars, court losses, and a war of attrition. So this is where I believe he starts building a reputation for himself as the ugly. Like, we don't like this guy, Mark Safe from Lance Zoll, buying my property because of what he does. So across the country, small local ghost tour operators accuse U.S. and these are the ones I could find. So these are where all active accusations are currently against Zoll. Across the country, small local ghost tour operators accuse U.S. Ghost Adventures of adopting confusingly similar names and capturing Google listings. This is not against the law. It's not against the law. He can absolutely do that. Every good business person in a SEO, my cousin does this. Any SEO operator will tell you it's smart to ride the coattails. So you do things that are similar. This happens all the time in business. Okay. Even up to brand colors. Most fast food restaurants are yellow and red. It's just the way it is because it works and we know it works. So blending reviews and misdirection of customers. I talked about that in the last slide. So because you have such an affiliated name that could be misconstrued with another name, that person is getting your bad comments. And it's documented. Like, this one location was called up and said, your tour sucked. They spent all this money. They didn't do shit. What the fuck? And it's like, we didn't do that tour. That wasn't us. But at that point, it doesn't matter because you have the Google review and he doesn't, right? Critics call it bullying. Zoll calls it competition. You're going to hate me for this. I side with Lance on that. It's competition. Be smarter. Be smarter. Be more unique. Put your same out there. You're putting this kind of money in your company. Put your money in your brand. And this is the common misconception so many fucking people make is that you're not paying graphic designers anymore. You're relying on AI. You guys are all blending. So if you're mad about this, you were doing it as a designer at a comms background. Every one of your fucking logos looks the same. You're doing the same fucking thing. So it's funny that people are mad about this but you guys are doing it with AI. If you're not hiring designers to do it, if you're not drawing your own logo, even if you draw like shit, you are going to be more unique than anybody else. Because when AI spits something out, it's using a rendered service. I can do it with this podcast because it's just a podcast. We're not making money on this. But if it's my brand, no. Every brand that I've ever done, it's my own work. And it's very unique. And it's the reason why we've had 45 emails since we opened this show about questions to Frankie when I said, I'm not answering any questions. The number one question I got was, how the fuck were you able to take down 3 YouTube channels and do all the things that you did because copyright. So when I see these guys still talking about false flags and false bullshit, come on the show. The link's right there. Challenge me on 1976 active copyright and I will fucking cream you again. I can take down channels because you have my logo. You were not given direct
permission.
You didn't use it in likeness. You use it in defamation. So yes, I can take you down like that because YouTube is an American company. It follows the DCMA. If it follows the DCMA, I can get you. And if I get 3 strikes against you, I will take your fucking channel down, which is why they don't talk about the Pitbull, which is why they don't use my logos because they know they're copyrighted. So they can keep saying it's false flags, but it's not. I own my image. I own my face. I own everything. We're a fucking film company. You don't think we thought about trademark? Well, Lance had to learn about trademark because Lance didn't know shit about trademark. That's one of the classes he probably should have taken. at William and Mary. I do have a lovely comment here by Blondes and Blues. I personally think this guy is a POS. I will not go to any place this POS owns. He has done a lot of people dirty. I just couldn't find it. I have the Johnny Hauser story. Asked 20 other people I didn't know. They couldn't come up with anything. So, and if you're saying dirty as in business tactics, I can have that. But I will tell you a line that I was taught when I did my master's degree in business administration. My professor said, all is fair in love, war, and business. And the minute that you break from that is the minute you will fail. Because at that point, it's not about personal relationships. It's about sustainment. And this is the biggest common misconception in this industry, is that people have a lot of opinions, but they don't have a lot of education in certain things that they're talking to. And to be poignant on business, his approach to business is what we would call shrewd. Do you have to run your business that way? He thinks so. Has he been more successful at owning multiple locations than most people? He has. It's undeniable. And I wish I could say no, because I love destroying people, which is why I'm getting my JD. But I don't have evidence for that. I don't have evidence of it. I have a Johnny Hauser story, which Johnny Hauser never talked about it. Not to me.
We reached out to him.
Reach out to him, tried to do an event, nothing. So I know, and he's in everything I've seen from him, he's in a lot better place. So sometimes those things work out. I don't know. Like, knowing the thing that he gave me and the passion that he showed at that one particular location, I think he would have made that place amazing. Undeniable. But it's not the way the cookie crumbles. Most recent 2025 trademark suit in Savannah names Zal personally. So I looked at some case studies. And if you hate this guy, stick around. Okay. I'm going to get to your comment real quick, Blondes. Case study, Lizzie Borden lawsuit. This is probably one of my favorite case studies. I will use this if I ever get to law school. September 2023. So this is a U.S. Ghost tour, whatever the fuck he owns. Sues its neighbor. So he has the Lizzie Borden house. Okay. There's a little coffee shop called Miss Lizzie's Coffee, and he sues them for trademark infringement. They didn't call Pitbull. I just said, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm not a lawyer, but I was in advertising for 15 years, and I practiced copyright with my clients and how important it was to trademark and brand and copyright your stuff.
I've heard you say it 1,000 times.
And if you had a class with me at Lindenwood, if you had a class with me at UMSL, if you had a class with me at University of Miami, if you had a class with me at Michigan, anywhere else I taught, Mizzou, I told you, copyright your fucking shit. Copyright and trademark are two different things, though. And what he's trying to get them on is trademark. Here's the problem with that. You can't trademark certain things. You can't copyright certain things. Copyright is human authored. Trademark is very, very different. You have to be excessively unique in your trademark, right? You can't have a company that sells basketball shoes called Sykes. You can't. It's called a derivative, which is why the Souls got in trouble. We give them permission to use the logo they have. Me and Jeremy. We had an agreement with Dan. That's your logo. You spent a lot of money on it, man. It's yours. What else do you want? Boom. Okay, let's drop this. Let's move on. Make millions of dollars. I'll go do the same. We don't ever have to see each other again. Made an agreement, walked away from it. But to this day, we still own it. We always will. We just have an agreement. And I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. So is Jeremy. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. But that's why that was taken down. It was a derivative. If something is too closely related and is in the same field, doing the same things, it's a derivative. If Haunted Souls, which is what ours was, and Haunted Souls Paranormal, doesn't matter. They're both paranormal teams. That locks heads. That's DMCA. That's a lawsuit. That's small claims court for basically the DMCA's small claims court for copyright. It's a federal lawsuit, and you can file it. So when you look at stuff like that, that makes sense. But as you'll see, in 2023 of October, the next month, court denies the injunction and the coffee shop wins. Why does it win? Anybody have a clue? Anybody want to answer real quick? Why did the coffee shop win? Nobody? It's right there. We used to do this at school, remember? We used to do this in class. It's on the board. So the trademark claim failed. You can trademark a brand, not a piece of history. You cannot do that. You cannot trademark words. That's why Absolute Vodka is misspelled. I bet you didn't know that, but it's misspelled. It's how they were able to do it. So this is the stuff I used to teach in my class. It's not against the law to be shrewd. You learn from it, and you learn how to massage this. So what happened here, not a piece of history. Miss Lizzie's invokes the public Lizzie Borden lore, which USGA does not own. You cannot own that. You can own the fucking house. You can own the axe, but you can't own the fucking history, dude. You can't. So he loses. No likely confusion. Coffee versus lodging and tours. Different customers. Logos similar, but not identical. Logos similar, but not identical. And the shop posted disclaimers. What does that mean? It's what I just talked about. The coffee shop used a similar logo with an axe, but that's a piece of history. The axe is probably going to be a part of the logo, but they do two separate things. So he can't get him on copyright. Even if they had the same exact name, they couldn't get him. He could not get him. Couldn't do it. Could he sue him personally and civilly? Oh, he did. Oh, he did. And Lance won that. And it's his own fault because the guy that he sues who owns this coffee shop defaulted. He never represented himself. He never showed in court. So the state, where Lizzie Borden is, and everybody, where's Lizzie Borden's house? Where's class tonight? You guys know where it is? Jeremy, you want to tell him?
Is it upstate? No. Is it Connecticut?
It's in New England.
I know it's up that way. I wanted to say Rhode Island, but I don't think that's it. Vermont? It's one of those weird ones.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts. Hey, that's the one for Shat there. There she is, Fall River, Mass. That's right. So, Massachusetts state law is going to come into a default court and rule that Lance won a $160,000 lawsuit against the owner of this coffee shop because the guy defaulted. When you get letters in the mail from the court and you don't come, the judge has no choice. So can't fault him there. I can't. And we know it was received because that's how the court orders things. But
yeah, you have to sign for those.
So it was a defamation suit that he sued him for. Okay, so defamation suit ends in $160,000 default judgment. The shop faces eviction now. And that's what we call hit them high, hit them low. When you're dealing with the type of stuff that I deal with on a daily basis with high risk clients, and that's what I've done, which is why I've been successful. Let's just put it that way. I deal with high risk clients. We hit them high or we hit them low. That's exactly what he did. He couldn't get him high, he hit him low, and he defaulted. So whoever his lawyer was, very shrewd, very smart. It's a good play. Now he can put a lien on the property that he wanted. I'm not saying this guy's a great guy. I'm saying learn from him. Oh, I don't want to be that person. Then don't be in business. It's not for the weak. It really fucking is. It is not for the emotional, and it's not for the weak. It is business. This is small business. This is considered small fucking business. Do you really think this doesn't happen at the fucking corporate level? It fucking does every fucking day. You know what we call them? Mass takeovers. Where people buy stock into a company and then get rid of the original owner. Happened at Harris Drury Cohen. They got rid of all three partners because they allowed people to invest in the company and then they voted them out.
Happened at Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch. It happens every fucking day in business. And it's legal. It's called hostile takeovers. So these are small-time hostile takeovers is what he's doing, right? So this is how you build a reputation where people don't want to spend money or support you. But here's the thing. It's not working. You don't have to support him. He doesn't need your money.
Do you think he sued the hair metal band Lizzie Borden?
Can't. Why can't he?
Well, I mean,
does what?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you think he tried?
No.
Because you know,
anything that competes with him, whether he's new or first, he attacks. That's competitive business.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just, you know, like maybe he's jealous of their song "Master of Disguise." I don't know.
So right now the McInteer Villa, we have all the stats and all the sale prices of the house, but that's Stephanie's information. And if she wants to disclose that, she can. I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you this. I don't think the villa is going to look worse next year. I would say that because I've seen his
probably going to have a new porch.
Yeah, it might have a new porch. You know, you don't have to support it. That's the thing, dude. We tell this to people you don't have to buy our cars. You don't have to watch our podcast. And you don't have to give a fuck about what we say. You don't. It gets you right. And there's a fucking link if you want to join the podcast. Just what me and Jeremy do. If you want. You don't have to do anything. Okay? So days ago, USG bought Atchison, Kansas 1890 mansion to restore it as a museum and luxury B&B. The paranormal community is split on it. And they are. I've seen it. All right. So previous weekend was $500. New listed fees are $1,200. And so this is the actual number. It is $1,900, and that includes the entire house. So that means that you get the entire house to investigate, and you get all the bedrooms, right? So I have not. If you guys are in the chat and have been here, Laura, I know you've been there. I think Charlotte's. I think a bunch of you guys have been here. Could you? I guess the $500 was for the whole fucking house. Is what I'm getting at, right? And you're saying that $1,900 is so. How many people? My question is, how many people could you get into McInteer Villa and be comfortable? You know, like 10, 8 people, right? So if it's 10 people, that's $200 a person. I'm going to side now with the paranormal community. That price is too fucking high. It's way too fucking high.
The prices are too damn high.
Yeah. So this part, and like I said in the beginning of the show, this is not a personal this is business. This is not personal. Also a very common thing used. I am explaining the good, the bad, the ugly of who Lanzal is. You can take it the way you want. I'm just saying I've seen this. I see this every day. It's terrible, but it works. And I have an ethical, moral compass. I told Mandy and Ben I don't want to be this location that charges fucking $2,000 fucking dollars. I just don't want to be that place. I want people to enjoy Emmaus. I think that we can kill it. So my business plan's different from Zal's, right? My volunteers know they're volunteers. Me and Jeremy run it from the director position, but we don't make money either. Right. So any money that we do make, we put into the garage, which is part of the property that Ben and Mandy did. I don't have a lease to the property. We're going to put up garage doors. We've already put up all locks. We've already secured the garage. We put up cameras. That's all Ben and Mandy's. When they sell the place, I don't get any of that money back. I just get what's mine. The only contract I have with them is like what's in the garage that I personally own, like my fucking cars and our welders and our engine lifts, tools. That comes back to us. That's the only agreement we have. And I want to be clear about that. So my business plan with them is different. This is not my own. This is not my my business, right? I'm helping them, right? Quick quid pro, right? Is what we're doing. A service for a service. We'll help you get people there. We'll help sponsor it. We'll do podcasts. We'll do all these things, and we're close to 50,000 right now. After I posted about 45, we're almost at 50 now. So my business plan is different, right? I believe in volume. I believe that volume metrics is better, right? So if I can get people to come to Emmaus and love it, they'll do my advertising for me. So I've not spent $1 in advertising this year. So volumetrics also works, Lancel. It works because good creative sells itself, but haunted locations sell them fucking selves. I don't have to sit on a podcast every night and talk about how haunted Emmaus is. Fucking go to it. Fucking go. And you're going to do the advertising for us. You're going to put out stuff for your podcast. You're going to put out stuff for your channel. You're going to put out stuff for your team, and it's going to tie it back to us. So volume for me is affordability for people. If you have 10 friends or 10 people you know want to ghost hunt or want to do a collab like Patriot does all the time, it's $75 a person. And you get to go to really fun places, and you don't have to be around a lot of people. And I don't want to bash public events because I think public events are so fun too, right? It's just a different way of investigating, and you get to meet people, and there's like-minded people. So I don't want to bash the public event space, right? Because I think those are cool too. Like that's how I've met so many of my friends in the paranormal, is because I was on a public investigation and I met people and we vibed. So it's really where if you're a more social butterfly and you want to meet other people and see other people investigate, it's awesome to do a couple, maybe 1 or 2 publics a year, and then you do a private, right? But what I've seen is people have met at publics, they form their own team, and now they do privates. So for right now, for Emmaus, what works for us right now, and this is once again in your business plan, modular thinking, not monolithic thinking, modular, right? These are things that if you're going into business, you should understand. This is business 101. Don't build a monolith. That's what happened to Lance. That's why Lance failed. He did too many things at one time, spread himself thin, lost everything. You build modular. You start small and you build out, and everything connects somehow, right? So for right now, what works for Emmaus is privates. We're not really pushing public events. The privates work for us. People are booking during the week. I mean, if you look at our calendar, it's ridiculous. It's just every fucking day. We got people coming during the week. Jay's been there 7 million times. Jay practically owns the building at this point. But, it's like they're doing it. It's on their own. They don't got to hear from us. I want people to experience it. I have great tour guides that are volunteers that love doing what they're doing, and they love giving the history. They love giving the tour. And we're out. I don't got to teach you how to fucking ghost hunt. You want to use our equipment? It's right there. You want to use our Estes tablets? It's right there. It's all included in the price. But most of my people bring their own shit. But if you want to use a tri-metal detector and you've never used a tri-field, it's right there in the case. If you want to use body cam, it's right there. It's all included in the price. It's inclusive. And the reason why I know this, I worked for Sandals for 3 years. Everything was inclusive. It's a great business model. It works for Emmaus. Might not work in 2 years. It works right now. Right? This guy's business plan, and I see that. I see that a lot of these, and it's sad because Patriot's not going. And that's part of this guy's bad business tactics. Organic growth works the same way. If you're a shitty person and you're doing shitty things, people don't want to support you. Most people that are visiting these locations don't know that side. They don't know the history side of it. But also, this guy likes to sue. So once again, being very safe here. Don't know Lance. I'm just saying he's shrewd. I have not found anything he did that was illegal. Nothing. Does he treat his employees bad? That's what some of you have said. I don't know. Didn't work for him. But as a person that's studying to be and getting a JD, I got to be careful with my words. I want to say the thing, but I don't do that anymore. Like, this is the facts. This is who Lance is. This is what he's done. This is how he's built his business. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm not telling you you have to book at McInteer. But I guarantee you one thing, Jeremy. If Lance says, hey, I really like you, Stephanie. I want you to run this place for me. I want you to be the face of this place. What do you think? What do you think then?
I think she's already the face of it.
Yeah.
It would only be good business for him.
Right.
Because
right.
then
people could
anybody who is mad about what happened, whether it was for her the best or whatnot, she's still there.
Yeah. And that's why, people really, so it is an interesting perspective when you look at it from that standpoint, right? I do want to read, because hopefully one day I'll be a judge. And so
here comes the judge.
Yeah. So here's the irony hook for the podcast. The same man accused all over the country of adopting confusing similar names to local operators tried to use trademark law to shut down a tiny coffee shop. We talked about this, but if you're just joining us, next door. So he sued them for trademark infringement. A federal court told him history isn't his to own. Massachusetts. You are in Massachusetts. Don't come to them with history unless you have a very good case. These judges in that bar in that state, they fucking know their history. They're in Massachusetts for a reason. They're in New England for a reason, right? That's our founding father states. So, but here was the twist to that. He lost the trademark fight, yet won a separate defamation default judgment of over $160,000 against the same owner who failed to respond. The lesson isn't he always loses. It's that litigation is a war of attrition, and he has the resources to outlast small opponents. This is what I'm saying. If you're online and you're bashing somebody's business, like a Lance Zoll, be very careful. Because even me, be very careful, because I will sue you too. I've done it 3 times this year, and I've won all 3 representing myself pro se. So I'm small time compared to this guy. So be careful when you say his name like that. Be careful if you have things in your purview, if you own stuff. These types of business people make their fucking money, make their bread and butter doing that. And so after you learn about somebody, now you know how he's reactive. He doesn't react to you online. He'll fucking take you to court. So be very, very careful. Okay. And I'm not saying that to warn you guys. I'm saying that to be smart, be better business people, right? You don't have to run your businesses this way, but now you understand there's a building block to it. There's methodologies. When you take the business courses that I took, they teach you about this. And they even say that one of the biggest classes that you'll take in business administration is business ethics. But ethics always don't point north. They point to where the money is. And if you can do it legally and soundly, there's nothing you can do. Remember, there are laws and there are rules of law. It's called the gray area. It's also known as open textured law. So I'll explain that to you real quick. Open textured law basically means Jeremy pulls up his K5 Blazer and there's a sign and it says vehicles will be towed. Jeremy says, fuck you, and parks anywhere. Guess what happens to Jeremy's vehicle? Gets towed. These are simple questions. The next day, Jeremy says, fuck that sign. I'm taking my motorcycle. And so he rides his motorcycle up to the sign and parks there. Guess what happens to Jeremy's motorcycle?
Nothing.
It gets towed. The next day, now that Jeremy is out of a car and he's out of a motorcycle, he takes a bicycle and he says, fuck that sign. And he rides up there on his little bicycle, his little BMX mongoose.
Mongoose. I have a mongoose.
I know. He takes it up there and he ties it off to the pole, and he goes to work, and he comes out at 5 o'clock and his bike is still there. Is a bike not a vehicle? Open textured. At that point, technically, legally, it is. They can tow it, but they don't, because it's the rule of law. It's not the actual law. So open textured gray areas is where shrewd businessmen, they live in this area. It's why Trump was able to stay in a 14% tax bracket. They live in the gray area. They're not breaking the law. They're bending it a little bit. Bending it just a little bit.
Being smarter than smarter than the average bear.
Yeah. So in to wrap this, about like who the owner is, you don't have to support him. I don't think it affects Stephanie O'Reilly anymore. Doesn't. I mean, I know she loves the place, but you're right. You don't have to support the McInteer Villa, and you can support her, right? But also, she made the decision to sell to Lance.
She did what was right for her.
Right. Right for her health, right for her. It's chef kiss. I didn't think she was going to sell it. Honestly, I looked at it, I'm like, fuck. This economy is shit. It's in the middle of Atchison. It's the only thing there. It's got a great reputation. God, who's buying these places right now? And then when I heard she sold them, I'm like, fucking A, dude. That's fucking luck. So I'm very happy that she was able to sell it and she can do her thing. And maybe she should compete. I think she should go back into fitness. I think she should do it one more time because she still looks good. I think she could do it. And I think it'd be awesome to be back in the gym with all this energy that she's just dispelled and all this crap. It's a great way to take it out is on the barbells. That's what I've been doing. I'm fucking Jack now, motherfucker. No, just playing. I am. Whatever. I do want to tell you that the judge in this case, if you hate Lance, wait for it. Wait for it. You're going to love this shit. It's going to make you laugh tonight. I'm going to make a fucking shirt with this on it. Bring it up. Come on, let's go.
People are staring at me right now.
Jeremy, would you go?
To McInteer?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I think that's expensive, though.
I think it's too expensive. I do think it's too expensive.
I think the price would make me say no. You know me. I'm a value shopper. I'm good at finding deals.
There was some really
I'll get
good
on that website that gets 2 for the price of 1. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I'll get a Groupon for it.
The Groupon, the BOGOs. Let me see if it's responded.
Yeah, I think it would take a lot for me to just be like, I wouldn't go there because I want to go there. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to go to Lizzie Borden's house. I've been to the Veliscak's house, so I'd probably say, yeah, I probably won't go back there, but I've been there. I still want to go to the Conjuring house and fall through the floor.
Okay, so on the coffee shop's website, this is what I thought was really intriguing. It said the disclaimer was, our ghosts are totally independent and not to be confused with any other ghost.
That's freaking awesome.
And so the judge in the case, all right. Yeah, on it. This is how funny this judge got. And the other one. The first thing she said was in her dissertation. So when she basically ruled in favor of the coffee shop, the judge basically said, this was CBS News. She said, "You can't win this case. You were haunted by legal confusion."
Oh my God. It's amazing.
And then, let me see. What was the other one? God, it's so good.
Haunted by
Legal confusion. For color on air. Okay, so the judge wrote, this is the actual, this, if you pull this case, this is the judge notes. Ghost Adventures' challenge to the strength of its marks was haunted by legal confusion and gave just sort. You have to understand that this is a fucking judge in an appellate court in Massachusetts. And this was her finding. Ghost Adventures' challenges to strength of its marks was haunted by legal confusion and gave just short of 40 whacks to the lower court's ruling. Can you imagine losing?
Oh my God. It's
Losing
incredible.
that case and then the judge saying that to you, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
When
so
her father saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
so like we always say in every episode, it's a little bit for Lance to, he should have made a shirt and sold it. I mean, haunted by legal confusion. So as we always say, you decide, right? Hard-nosed operator. Who is Lance? Who is Lance All, right? Hard-nosed operator, a scrappy veteran who built a national brand, saved decayed landmarks and outworks his rivals. Or is he a predatory incumbent killer? A litigious chain that mimics local names, jacks up prices, and outlasts small owners in court. That's what it comes down to. Based on this evidence that we've displayed tonight, it can only come to two different things. He's either a hard-nosed operator or he's a predatory incumbent killer. And I think he's both. I think that if you have something in his town, or if he's coming to your town, and he's here in St. Louis. He does the tours by the Arch.
We should go meet him.
Well, he doesn't do them. I mean, his company does them.
Oh.
But like, here's the thing. Nobody else was doing tours by the Arch. Now we have them. And so that's the takeaway, right? The takeaway is like, you can't be mad because somebody did it and outlasted somebody. You can't. You either compete or fold. Those are your two options in business, or just don't be in business. A lot of public teams have to make a decision this year if they're going to stay doing public events. Because you have to weigh two things. Could you have gotten a job and made more money? Even if you have a full-time job, could you have gotten a second job and made more money than you did with your company? Or do you fold and just get out of it? This is a waste of money. I've invested all this fucking money because I'm going to tell you right now, if you are in the red right now, you might not break even. I'm going to put your chances of being in the black. If you are a public event owner, not a location owner, if you run public events in Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, wherever the fuck you are, if you're running public events and your ticket sales have been as shitty, and this is not talking or pointing at one person or one team that I was on. I'm talking to a lot of my friends in the Northeast. One of my friends just pulled out of MSP. He's a smart businessman. He pulled out. Not paying it. No. Not worth it. Right? Or stick to your guns and fucking do it. Right? Try to do it. He would have had to have sold. He had 10 tickets sold for MSP. MSP's prices this year, just to put it in perspective, because I know you guys hate me right now because you act like I defended Lance or something. I gave you the story of Lance. I'm never going to tell you what I think, but I'm going to tell you one thing that I do think. That fucking number is high. And this is why I'll tell you this number is high. I think me and Laura were talking last year at MSP, and I could have sworn she rented MSP for $1,850. I don't know if you're still in the chat, Laura, but I could have sworn she did her own private at MSP for $18. Now, Missouri State Penitentiary for $1,800. I don't know if that price has changed. I know that public events are $3,000. So if you spent $3,000 and you sold 10 tickets, get out. If you sold $3,000 and sold 31 tickets with the gas prices, get the fuck out. If you can, don't pay the other $1,500. To cut your losses, man. Get the fuck out. And that's what my friend did. He's out. Wasn't worth it. He still had to come here. He still had to fucking come here from the Northeast. So it's a bad year for public events. And maybe it's just a thing that's in the air. I really do think a couple weeks ago, Jeremy, we talked about the gas prices. I really do think it's that. It's the travel, and then it's the hotel. If gas prices were, $1.89 and hotels were reasonable $50-$60, you could do a public event. It's triple. Gas is. I was just in California yesterday. Gas was $7 a gallon.
Well, I won't talk about what the prices were in Branson, but they're a lot lower than anywhere I've seen.
They were $3.79.
Yeah, right about. I think I got gas for $3.59 one time.
Yeah. Yep. Branson and Arkansas had the lowest prices. Good job, Charlotte. You had the lowest prices. So yeah, I don't. Stacy, what are you saying? Wow, too. That is what MSP I believe charged. I believe they charged $1,850. Laura would know because I know she did one. And I know from a public standpoint, it was $3,000 to rent it this year. Last year it was, I want to say it was $2,500. I think they went up $500 this year.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So if you, yeah, right. Fuck yeah. I mean, I would like that. So you can get the villa for $1,900, and if MSP is still at $1,850, do you know how fucking big MSP is? You can
take you and 50 of your best friends.
You can get all. I just want to put this out there. You can get all of Emmaus, which is 140,000 square feet, 3 buildings, for Friday and Saturday for $1,500. I'm just saying, this is very high. Oh, here we go.
This is like Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg high.
All right. Jay said the problem of MSP Publix is too much open area with disrespect for people. And I think you're right. Our chief complaint when we used to run MSP, Jeremy, and we did it 3 times, was exactly that. And even though when I was with the Souls, I only really wanted to sell 75 tickets. I didn't want to sell the full 100. Just because 100 people is a lot of people anywhere, right? Even in a big place like that. And think about the buildings, right? Like you can be talking on the first floor and it just fucking carries. So I don't think anybody ever got a good EVP out of MSP, honestly.
I was there one time with like 12 people.
Yeah, that was the very first time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were the second team and you won the lottery after Ghost Adventures. Do I have that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
We actually, back then, when PTF actually had a rivalry with it wasn't Ghost Adventures, it was Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters. Okay.
We had a rivalry with them because we had a TV show that was also on Sci-Fi. It wasn't a show, it was a documentary, but because we were both on the same channel, there was a little beef between us. Actually, they were mad at us and we didn't care. Is really what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and that team is pretty crazy. Like I said, I mean, you put things on the map, and PTF was there at the right moment. And I think, I don't know, maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, I don't know if I was talking on the podcast or just talking to some guests that were out there. I said that, before, when you used to watch the TV shows about ghost hunting, nobody knew how to ghost hunt. So that's why the Publix did so well.
And we did a lot of those that were educational. We did Ghost Hunting 101 classes. Almost every event we did.
This is an Arkansas comment because she lives in Arkansas.
Just like Walmart's.
Just like Walmart's. Let me see. Shoot, I went to a small event at Alton, WYC. I heard that place is crazy. And groups still were rude, interrupting investigations, stomping through occupied areas, kicking equipment, and saying oops and laughing. Yeah. Well,
I've heard stuff about the guy who runs those.
Oh, is that Charles? Is that Farley?
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Yeah, that guy refuses to take pictures down that he knows are fake. When you refuse to take down a picture on Facebook where the person that's the ghost in the photo calls you and said, that's not a ghost, that's me, and you still leave it up, I have issues with that.
Not a fan of his.
Same thing here. We need a private NJ. Redeem the moment. Yes, Farley. There you go. Y'all came to blows one time, man. That was really close. Y'all fighting. That was fun.
Well, he threatened me.
He was about to make a ghost in front of Limp Man.
I was. Oh man, I was yelling at him off the front porch, and he wasn't allowed on the property. I was making fun. Remember, I was making fun of his Vespa.
Yeah. So locals welcome it, right? So $25,000 already spent on repairs, join the Atchison Historical Society, and then restoring a porch sealed for 50 years. That's the plans for the villa. Let's hold him accountable. Let's see if he does it. There you go. Now you have ammunition. Hey, you said you were going to do this. You didn't fucking do it. Fuck you.
That's true.
But if he does it, overnight prices jump. His investigators object. All right. So this is all the research that we pulled. And the groups complain of corporatization. Yeah. I mean, you're always going to complain about that.
That's happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. On air, the real rate actually is $1,200, not $1,900, but that's actually not true. I have to change this slide. I put a note in here to correct this. It is $1,900 if you want the full house. You can rent it for $1,200, but it doesn't include the bedrooms. And aren't the bedrooms the most haunted place? So same instincts that built an empire and restored these houses are the ones drawing the lawsuits and the backlash. And this is where that weird thing with Lance happens, right? Can't you do this and just be a good guy? I mean,
you could, but is it fun?
And maybe that's it. I mean, I've known a lot of Marines. I mean,
both have.
So they're tough as nails, man. They're fucking Marines, dude. They're the first ones in. They're first line of defense. So that mentality does stick with them. They're very headstrong. They're very bullheaded. And I think that's how he runs his business. Like I said, he has an incredible acumen. Incredible, though. You can't deny that. William and Mary is no bullshit. MBAs, he owns these properties. I mean, that's Lance. So when you see something online now, you could still hate him. That's fine. But now you know a little bit, okay, well, he's not just some joker. He's not just some guy on a fucking podcast that can sit there and say something's not haunted because he watched somebody's video. Like he's some kind of fucking expert in the paranormal because he can watch somebody's video and say, "Oh, it's not haunted because I said it wasn't." Okay, cool. That's how the COVID shot worked, isn't it?
My biggest problem with that guy is what he calls his fans.
Yeah,
So dumb.
my fans. And Jay is a former Marine. Maybe you get a discount. Maybe you get a different rate. Maybe I email him. Hey, dude, So we want to do something too. I think next year we're going to roll out some certain plans for some vets, but also school teachers. Like I love my vets. I love that they fought for our country. I love that they were willing to sacrifice. No bullshit. But cops, first responders, teachers, like they don't make the biggest salaries. And I think that, we can always help them with if they want to investigate. Definitely help them. Not nurses.
Hey guys,
We all make too
remember
much stuff for money.
I am a teacher.
Yeah.
Like my students think I'm rich because I got all this stuff, and I'm like, it's called financial irresponsibility.
We like cars that don't work.
Love them to death. Love them.
Yeah, we love them. I did buy the carburetor. I broke down and bought it.
Well, I finally figured out the timing on the van.
To Vice Grip Garage, I bought an Edelbroke, so we're good.
I love Derek Beery. I've been watching that guy for years.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So we will show you. I don't know if you're coming this weekend, but we will show you the Cadillac. We're gonna put a new starter in it. We're gonna film some videos for Haunted Garage because one of our peoples wants us to start putting stuff together. Maybe we'll get a TV show one day. I don't know. 6'7", yo. So I do it with my daughter. I pick her up and I go. She's like, "Stop, Dad, please."
I do it all the time at school so that maybe the kids will stop. But then I'm like, if we just do this 6 or 7 times and they're all behind me going, "Ah!" I'm like, I hate every single one of you that just screamed.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love it. I love my daughters. Like I was in California and I was flying back and then I get a message from my daughter and she's like, "You left Mom." I'm like, "What?" I called her. I said, "What are you talking about? What language is this?" I'm like, "No, you left me on, dude." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You left me on red, son." And I'm like, "Okay, that's a new one. Left on. If you leave somebody on red and don't respond, it's called a left on." Left on what? 4th Street?
I don't know that one. I know a lot of the slang.
Where we just talk about like how Gen X is responding to the youth and trying to understand them. Like, what are you talking about? Chopped is my favorite thing. I think chopped meant that if you said something was chopped, that meant it went to you stole a car and you fucking took it somewhere.
Or you beat them in racing. That was right. Mighty Car Mods way back in the day.
Yep.
I love that show.
We had some cool ones.
Moog and Marty.
What was the one when we used to race? The the distance between a gat. What we used to call it? You beat him by
you gapped him.
Gapped him. Beat him by a gap. Yeah. So, yep. But
yeah, you gapped him, or it was like 5 car lengths.
Pretty crazy.
I beat him by a telephone pole.
Oh boy, guys. Crazy night, right? I think that if you caught the beginning of this show, we gave a lot of applause and awards to Stephanie. We also gave you a little bit of history on Lance, so you have the full picture now. My thing as a teacher, I'm a professor. Look, have the whole story. This is what this guy does. Know who you're getting in business with. Know who your business is around. Be careful if you're around this guy. He's fucking shrewd. And he's around Steve that owns the Demon House, which I don't know Steve. Somebody thought I knew Steve, which I thought was. Did you remember that?
Yep.
That was funny.
I do remember that one.
I've never even been there. I've never even been to Atchison. I've been to Atchison's one time in a car
with me,
with you and my cousin.
Stood in front of the house,
took a picture, and we left.
Yeah, it was me, you, Joey, and Greg.
Yeah. I don't know.
And we got out of the car. We stood in front of the house on the sidewalk and took a picture and left.
Yep. You guys want to know? One day I'll reveal how I got the name. It has something to do with Alexa. Okay, so we got to do a bedtime story. Jeremy, you ready for a bedtime story?
Dude, I feel like crap. I'm ready to go to bed.
You bastard.
No, I can listen to a story.
Okay, you need a bedtime story.
Yeah.
People love the bedtime stories. I get
Wait,
emails
is it
all
going to
the
be 4 hours like
time.
the
No, it's
last
not
one?
going to be. I must have been high as fuck when I read that article. I'm like, this is a good article. Like, it's fucking 10
I'm
hours
pretty sure
long.
we both were.
I was like, it was a great story.
Consequently,
I
totally sober
actually,
tonight.
I have reached out to them, by the way.
Did you really?
Yes. They are going to get back to me.
They better. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Waiter, get that for me.
Try to make this one short. I have a couple here.
Too short?
Too short, son. Stick around for our bedtime story. It will not be as long, I promise.
It's not going to be too long.
That's what the rabbi said at the brisk. It won't be long now.
You know what's grosser than gross? A rabbi who sells pork rinds.
As always, the story will be in the link. It's actually how we got a hold of the people. All right. Are we ready? Let me just go through this real quick, Jeremy, make sure.
8 hours later, he's finished reading. Reminds me of this. Who was it? Crosby, Stills, and Nash in Chicago concert that I went to when I was a kid. There was a tornado. This is at Riverport Amphitheater back when I used to work there, and it was there was tornado warnings. I guess tornadoes had touched the ground pretty close to Maryland Heights, and so everybody either had to leave or run down to the stage. That was interesting. And then they didn't even. I don't think Chicago was the opener, and I don't think they even started until like 11:30. So it's like 3:30. We're listening to Puff the Magic Dragon.
Fuck yeah. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Pueblo, Colorado, your bedtime story. And the next couple ones for the next couple weeks, guys, are going to be super short. It's because we really took almost an hour reading one. This one's super short. It's not unusual for police dispatchers to answer 911 calls, only to have the caller hang up. It happened in Pueblo earlier this month. But what happened next may strike some as a little spooky. On August 11th, this was last year, the Pueblo Police Department Communications Center got what they referred to as an abandoned 911 call at 3:28 a.m. According to the police, the call came from Imperial Memorial Gardens, a funeral home and cemetery located at 5450 West State Highway 78. An emergency services dispatcher answered the phone just as the line disconnected, but received no response from anyone on the line, police stated. An officer was sent to check it out, and the dispatcher called the number. Police documents show the call was answered, but no one spoke. It was just static. And you can actually listen to the call here. I have a link. It'll be in the article. Officers went to check out the funeral home, but it was locked up and dark with no one in sight. Probably just the line, right? Let's go with that. Captain Tom Rummel told Pueblo Chieftain. So in the link, you can listen to the actual recording of something picks the phone up. Hey Alexa, order Chinese food for Deborah. I'm looking at your evidence, ma'am. I promise. I'll get to it tomorrow. That is your bedtime story from Pueblo, Colorado. Happened 2018. This August 2018. It's actually the EVP is there, and it's come from the police station. So somebody's actually picking up the phone in a fucking funeral home. They got a call from it, and I think that was it. Yeah, that's it, Jay. I told you they're gonna be short.
That's not the first time I've heard of something like that either.
No. And so I believe Dave Glidden was actually doing something with a telephone in one of his things. I don't talk to Dave as much anymore.
He's been kind of quiet.
Yeah. Well, he keeps leaving the paranormal and coming back and then leaving. So I wish him well. That's it. Unless you guys have any questions for us. We do have. Let me see.
You could just transfer money to me if you would like. I provide no services.
We did have an email. Last segment, guys. Then you guys can go. You guys paid your hour. Let me see. Here we go. User email. Okay. I don't want to, because like Mandy didn't join us, but I don't want her. I love dead air. Okay, so have you ever captured? This is Don D. I won't say his last name.
Delta Dawn.
Delta Don. Have you ever captured evidence at Emmaus that you refused to release because it was too controversial or couldn't be properly verified? Ooh.
We really didn't release that thing I caught that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so Don, if you're out there, we have caught stuff that we have not released. One of the reasons is not that it's controversial, it's that we don't want certain YouTubers picking up our footage and our images and having to go through that again. So a lot of the stuff that we show at our public events. A lot of times during privates, we don't want to waste people's time. They spent money to be there. So we don't go through all that. We just do the tour to make sure that they know where they're going and that they're safe and they know where they can go, where they shouldn't go. So we don't really get into our evidence collecting. So yes and no. The Haunted Boy, I believe our ghost kid, we've released that on news stations and stuff a little bit. We really haven't personally gone through that footage online or on a podcast either. We just today's word is like people take it, either they make it their own and they get all the views and all the clicks and all the shit. So we're careful as to how we release stuff. Okay.
Or the other thing people do is everything's fake.
Right. Yeah. And so one of the things, the conflicts that was in our banner that, after Steph had, kind of looked at we kind of changed up our thing because like it was AI or like what's going on, right? It was one of our last segments here and the last 15. Here's the thing. There are programs in place where you can put stuff and it'll tell you if it's AI generated. It has metadata in it. And two ways you can do this. Person has to give you the file. If they're unwilling to give you the file, even if you sign an
Probably
NDA,
fake.
it's faked. 100%. If they want to know if this is real footage, normally they don't post it online and try to get clicks and views. Normally they go to people like us that have engineering backgrounds and say, "Hey, can you look at this?" Right? There was a guy that was with Patriot Paranormal this weekend. He sent me. I have not gotten back to him, but he sent me some fucking photos, and I was gonna show them, but it's his stuff, so I didn't want to show him. But dude, like there's a woman in the fucking window, legit. And he has a picture of the building and then he's standing in front of it and he did like a reverse selfie. And in that same window, it is clear as fucking day. Like there's a fucking woman in the pane of the pane of the window. And we have not released that. So yes, we controversial. I wouldn't say anything that we have is controversial. But like AI stuff isn't good enough. Like that Sally House thing with the chair. That was awful. But
even back in the day, there were apps where people, this was back in the PTF days, where people would send us in footage to look at, usually photos, but and you'd watch it and then it would be like, or you'd look at this picture and they'd have Samara from The Ring in the background and have this whole story about how they saw this in their basement. And it's like, yeah, no, I saw that movie too. So
yeah,
it's been going on for a long time. And then even before that, the double exposures and everything. So there's
yeah.
always been people faking footage.
I'm gonna look for it right now, Jay. I believe the building. Let me see where he's at. I mean, it's a solid fucking shot. And it's clearly like I don't want to say that you can tell it's AI, but you kind of can. Like if it's too good.
Or they have 6 fingers.
Yeah, it's like his name is Eric Turner.
Eric Turner from the band Cinderella?
I wish. Yes, I'll show you. Like, this is the gentleman here, right? And he's standing.
Can't see it.
He's standing in front of the women's college, Jay. So it's where I don't know if you guys can see that. BP Paranormal there. He's standing out front, and it's where the porch is on the outside. And then when you zoom in, I mean, I asked him like, where do you see that? I mean, it's fucking clear. It is like, it's not even like, oh, but not AI. Like, it's fucking good, dude. Like, it's a good shot. And it's what I saw. So I'm like, he sent me a bunch of photos. So he sends me a bunch of photos, right? And I'm like, I haven't posted to the public. I wanted people I know to confirm to see. This is what I love about this guy already. So he said, you want to see an apparition of y'all's place? And I said, he goes, I haven't posted it to the public. I wanted people I know to confirm to see what I see. And I said, for sure. So he sends me it. And I'm like, okay, holy shit. I see something. And then I'm like, well, here's the pic with nothing in it in the second floor. Then he sends me the next pic. And it's the same picture of him standing out there, but he's zoomed all the way to fuck in. Right. And it's fucking there. And then I said, can you circle what you were seeing? Because I want to make sure it's what I'm seeing. And he circled exactly what I saw. That's how I kind of do it with those people. And it's undeniable. It is undeniable. And it looks like, I think a friend took the photo because his arms are by his side. It's a solid shot. I mean, I'm gonna tell him to post it. I don't know if Laura was with him that night. Show it. So yeah, and then the other question we had, we will answer. This guy definitely listens to the show. If you had to defend the existence of the paranormal in a courtroom, what would be your strongest piece of evidence? And that is from Tori, but not Tori Westhoff. She spells her name differently. Torrey.
I think it's easier to prove that it's there than to prove that it's not.
What would be your strongest piece of evidence, though?
Out of anything I've ever seen or anything that I've ever even saw on TV.
For sure.
Sir No Face is pretty strong.
Yeah, Chad Calix.
Yeah, that one's pretty strong.
I mean, he's done. I mean, he put out part 2. It was awful. Try to say it was aliens and shit. Don't know why he did it. Probably money, but that was one of the best. I wouldn't say best documentaries. I would say it's the best that he's ever done was Sir No Face.
Yeah, but the catch is amazing.
Yeah.
The hook is great.
I mean, they make you wait for that motherfucker, dude. And when it comes out, it's like, whoa.
It's almost a jump scare.
Yeah.
It's really...
It fucking freaked me the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
I was like fucked up for days. If you guys haven't seen Sir No Face, you should see it. Not the second one. I think Chris is still owed money because he never got it. Chris Ketters. Yeah, that is actually that, and I would say Greg Myers' neck during The Exorcist.
Okay. I took that footage myself. They had a thermal imager. It was a military thermal imager reading on his neck above the limit, which they had the limit set at 350.
Yeah.
And that was pretty wild because it blistered up in the shape of a cross.
Yeah, that was.
And then within a couple of hours of leaving the place, it was totally gone.
That was some of the most disturbing footage I've ever seen. That was in the Exorcist house. If you're not from Missouri, if you're not listening from Missouri, the actual haunted boy, the Ronald Edward Hunkler case took place here in Belle Noire in Normandy in St. Louis. And it's literally miles from Umsel where I used to teach.
Yeah, it's like maybe
University
half
of
a
Missouri,
mile.
St. Louis. Yeah, it's about half a mile from University of Missouri, St. Louis. And they had done a documentary called The Haunted Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And during the filming, it's in the film.
Yes, it is.
So you can watch this film and it literally is happening on camera. And this is before, it's before 4K.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they were, the Booth brothers actually had iPhones that they used for some of the like background stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had one, I had Chris's camera And right before the shoot starts, like everybody's in the room, everybody in the room is tiny. Greg Myers is like, I forgot my medals. He used to be like Benny in frickin' The Mummy, where he's had all the different medals.
All
And
different
Greg,
religions.
yeah, Greg did that. Like he had his like I don't know, saint whatever medal and all that stuff. And I was like, I'll grab it for you. And they're like, no time, roll. And so they started the session. And several minutes in, Greg's like, I'm feeling an intense heat. It was on this, no, it was on this side.
Yeah.
And he was leaning against an outside wall. So we're like thinking, is there something hot there? No, no. They had a thermal imager. And back then it was the paranormal puck and an Ovulus 1.
Wow.
So it was a paranormal speaking spell. And I mean, it was terrible. I went through all that footage of the Ovulus because at least the puck would print it out on a screen. The Ovulus was all you had to listen to it. And like they come in with this thermal imager and they're on his neck and it's like it's reading above limit. And I never got to see the footage, but Sandy, also a member of PTF, told me that it looked like liquid mercury came together in the heat signature next to Greg and made a face. And I'll tell you something, there's a lot of footage that was shot for that movie that they didn't use. And I think it's incredible stuff. Like, I don't know why they didn't use that image. I don't know. Well, I do know. They lost it.
Ugh.
They lost the card. The card died. But yeah, there was, because they had some pretty incredible footage of what looked like children down at Zombie Road on the thermal imager. And they lost that too. And that was for the first movie they made with PTF, which was Children of the Grave. Because they told me that one, that like the card corrupted. I guess back then we had a lot more of that than we do now.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like I wish we had these types of posts. You know, like we have so many paranormal groups weighing in. I guess I have to weigh in. You don't have to fucking weigh in.
No,
you don't.
Nobody cares.
Emmaus didn't. We didn't weigh in on Stephanie's stuff. We said that we're going to talk about it, and we weighed in on our show. And I think the biggest thing that's missing in all of those things is like, who is the guy you're mad at? Why do you hate him? And when I ask 20 fucking people and none of them can give me a response other than what somebody else said, come on. Like,
yep.
No one's trying to defend anyone. We're trying to put out evidence.
Yeah.
And it's just like, have the whole fucking story, because you can't be half pregnant in that shit, man. You can't be saying, oh, I support this, but fuck you. Like, you know, you don't.
I've seen a lot of those.
You don't have to do or bring these people on your show and like have this whole like dramatic fucking thing. It's just, that's how
you don't
this
have to
man
talk about it at all.
Yeah, and you don't have to go to his events. I mean, if I am in Massachusetts with Jeremy, we are going to the Lizzie Borden house.
I'm gonna give myself 40 whacks. You know what I'm saying?
And then he's arrested for indecent exposure.
It's an axe. It's an axe.
This is all so sudden.
Never knew he would do something like that.
I guess we were fortunate enough to see I remember like the wall. And like I said, I don't know if that's true. But if that's true and you stuccoed over the axe marks.
But that was that wasn't at Velisca.
No.
That was the stories at Lizzie Borden's.
Oh, is that where the stucco was?
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying. Because I don't remember seeing axe marks on the wall at Villisca.
Wow.
We've been to Salem.
Do you know like, here's the funny part. I love Stephanie, and this is what I was trying to tell her. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like, I've never had an issue with you. Um, I don't even know the story of McInteer Villa.
Nope.
I don't even know who haunts it. But like I just know that like that's the kind of friend I am. I support people's shit. Like whatever. And I was hoping to see it last year. I really was.
I
But
hope
like
it's Ernest Borgnine.
this year was me about getting back to where I make my money and in software and high risk clients and signing 2 contracts already this year. Like that's where I live and thrive. And so like the paranormal stuff's great. I don't side hustle wise, tough.
It's always
Tough.
been a
Unless you
like
own the location and you have to own it. Like that new place that I just posted. It's not new. I mean, it's fucking haunted forever, but they just opened it up to the public and it's like $45 or something to investigate it. And I think Patriot's gonna be there. It's a little hotel. The old Commerce. I don't know if Charlotte's done that one. It's the old Commerce Hotel. It's on our fucking Facebook. What are you saying? Spookable? Oh. Look at this logo.
yeah.
Shit.
We talked about that when we were up there.
Oh yeah, me and Jeremy have been to Salem. We've done filming and actual documentary work in Salem with Lori Bruno. For our documentary that's coming out this year, Lori Bruno is actually in it, and she's in Salem and the Haunted Commercial Hotel. That's it. Haunted Commercial Hotel. This place looks fucking spooky as shit. Great price. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think they're gonna, but you never know. Like they said the same thing about Matt Rife and Elton. Like who the fuck wants to go to the fucking? I think that of all the places that wouldn't be haunted, if Ed and Lorraine Warren's stories were true, why the fuck would their house be haunted? Like, weren't they responsible for getting rid of stuff? So I find that kind of weird that like I was like, it's never gonna sell, right? And I think it's sold out for like 2 years, and it's like $2,500 to go see Ed and Lorraine's residence. Which I don't know why that's haunted, because the stuff's not in there anymore. So you know what I'm saying? But like shit sells, man. I don't know. And they have a marketing budget behind them. So McInteer probably will do well. I mean, and this is probably going to be taken out of context. The Haunted Garage Boys defends Lance Zoll. Did I defend Lance Zoll?
Really, just more like shot facts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way he does business. It's not the way I do business. People in the comments know how I do business. I try to give, I set the prices at,
Yes, I've heard of Ursuline. Never been there, but I've heard of it.
And so Ursuline Covenant gets confused with Arcadia.
Yep.
So the whole like the Exorcist shit, and the owners of Arcadia never claimed that. Just don't mix my words. But they had told a story about how a failed exorcism happened. Wasn't at Arcadia. It was there. That's why that place is fucking haunted. That's their story to tell. And we were told that by somebody that was doing research on Arcadia when I was part of the Souls and we were doing research on it. And I think Arcadia is beautiful. I never experienced anything there, but I have not given it enough. I think about three or four times I was there. I have not given it enough time either to investigate.
It's gotten spooky. It's spooky.
It's spooky. It's definitely spooky, and I know people love it. Like I know people have had very good experiences. That's in Irontown, Jay. That's a little bit of a hike, but it's worth it though. I think that if you haven't been to Arcadia, it's definitely
Wait a second. Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Did you say Irontown?
Is it Iron?
It's Ironton.
Oh, sorry.
I got family there.
Sorry, I do declare.
Ironton.
Iron.
Ironton.
It is the belly of the beast, son. The Iron.
Yeah. Ironton.
It's worth a look. They have a great restaurant. So if all else fails, you can have a Cinnabon. Arcadia is definitely worth your time. In my opinion, it's definitely a cool fucking location. The other Ursuline's still open. The Ursuline Covenant in Alton literally was just talked about. Where the fuck was it? I think it was on a thread, and I was like, "Where the fuck is this place at?" And it's supposed to be, pretty fucking horrific, and a lot of the stories carry to Arcadia from there. I couldn't find. There's definitely, we couldn't find anything like controversial about Arcadia, like the school. Like there was mention that all we found was that Fidel Castro's niece went there and Bob Hope's daughter went there for school. But we never were able to like track down anything that was like controversial. Like, oh,
Was
this
her name Hope?
Hope. But there was something going on in that bathroom up in Arcadia that was pretty creepy.
Every time I was in that bathroom, there was like 10 people in there. So I
Yeah.
never had anything happen.
Right. That's the thing about ghost hunting with a lot of people too. Like the most attractive spots are
The busiest.
Yeah, we tell people not to camp, but literally got.
But that's why all those years of running events, there's places I've been to tons of times and barely investigated because you can't trust footage you took when there's a bunch of new people walking around who don't really know what they're doing and they're whispering.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, it's, I know for me, it's just like it's kind of like because people were getting mad. They were getting mad at Stephanie because she was like supporting the new owner. And I'm like, what is she supposed to do? Like, what's the alternative?
I think that's a good thing that she's supporting him because then it's hopefully the place will be successful and we still have access to it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
There's so many places that have been lost that, it does take a lot of money to keep these places open. They're old, they're falling apart, they're dangerous in some cases.
Yeah.
And people want to hate on these people coming in and fixing them up, but if you don't, they end up like Bobby Mackey's. Not there.
Yeah. And that's the upsetting part too, is that like it's like this disgruntled like rock and a hard place for people. Which I felt that my dissertation, my presentation, is built around facts. It's not built around opinion. And I don't lead with opinion anymore. I don't have an opinion on Lance Zoll. I have never interacted with him. I've never had a bad experience with him. I said some stuff last year because that was the game of the podcast. That's how we were supposed to get like, a following. And we did. I mean, I promised we'd get 1,000. We got to 1,000. So, I mean, but I don't want to do podcasts like that. I want to be able to at least constructively look at the situation. Now, I'm not saying that people that had bad experiences with Lance are wrong. Like I said multiple times, your feelings are valid. If that's the way you feel, you don't have to spend money there. It's the same with like, I know my personality. I know I'm love-hate. I get it. I've known it my whole life. I'm not looking for new friends. I'm just not. I'm not in the market for them. But Emmaus, I'm hardly ever there. I don't, unless Charlotte comes, because I like Charlotte. She's cool. But like this weekend, I was hoping to see Patriot, but I had a wedding. And we have a pretty good team that we put around us that basically checks you in. And we want the owners to be there to collect the money, to talk about the history. It's just basically about formulating something for Ben and Mandy so they can take into the next year as we and Jeremy kind of really start looking at how to monetize even more next year. You know, like how do we build this place up? Are we going to do the fast pass, right? We talked about doing the fast pass. And that fast pass is like, it's places like Charlotte who's been out, Jay who's been out a couple times where they just spend $500 and they can come out 10 times, you know, and just do their thing. You know, it's like almost like and this was Mandy's idea. Actually, it was like a timeshare, right? And it's a brilliant idea. And it's something that like, I want to continue the volumetrics. We might raise the price like by $50, maybe $800 for a private, because we never sold an up to 15. So we're going to keep it at privates up to 15. You know what I'm saying? So privates up to 10, probably be around 800, or keep it at 750, but every additional person $75. So if you have 11, 12, it's just 13, 14, 20, doesn't matter. It's $75 at that point. And then for our public events in October, I mean, you're just going to get, I mean, here's the thing. And there's still good, consistent listeners here. And this is crazy to say. I enjoy Halloween so much. I don't want to be investigating. I don't want to be running events in October. So for me, I think the majority of people that investigate are the motherfuckers out there right now in June, during the week, in August, in fucking March. Those are fucking diehards. Those are the guys that are like, they want the evidence, right? So in October, it's just going to be fun, right? It's going to be fun public events that Emmaus is hosting, and we're going to bring in other teams to work with us, right? Haunted Soul Society's coming in. They're going to work a team with us, right? And then Which is Familiar is going to come in and work an event with us. So we're going to give them some of the proceeds so they can put it into their team. And then hopefully Naughty Dog will do an event with us where we host for the general public that never goes on it before. It's Halloween. We're going to do it. I'm not expecting pro investigators to be at our events in October. I'm just not. I just don't see it. And I think that Larry says he'll investigate you, Frankie, anytime. I love Larry.
Internally,
Fucking chum.
he's gonna shoot his chum on
Jeremy's
your
supposed
back.
to be fucking. Jeremy's supposed to. Hey, Chuck, there's a fucking link way in the beginning of this. If you guys want to jump on, there's a link to the show.
They're driving
Oh, they are
on the roads with chumming to Little Rock.
Larry loves to investigate with me. Oh, they're going to the Paracon this weekend. They're going to a Crypticon. Bastards.
Yeah, the Crips.
They're gang members, just so you guys know. Chumming is all gang members.
We get along though, even though we're Bloods or something like that.
Bloodsuckers. Wait, is that in Central Kansas, Chuck? Is that where
No, they're going to Fort or Little Rock.
Oh, Arkansas. That's right. Oh yeah,
Arkansas.
I was just there. We were all just there. I was in Eureka Springs, but that's such a fun fucking town, man. God, talk about opening up like a. I was telling Colton like he needs to sell paranormal investigation gear at the bodega.
Yes,
Like
I think
that.
that's a good idea.
That's a shoe.
Boo.
Buy some dead bells, buy some music boxes, buy some K2s. Just keep them on the shelf. I guarantee they'll sell because, investigators come into town. I did not stop and see you. I did not stop and see you. Hey, if you're going to Eureka on Sunday, if you want a really good breakfast place, the Filling Station. It's fucking awesome. I did not see you. No, I was with my wife. I had to leave. I had to work on Friday, and then we left late.
You guys ate at the Cracker Barrel at Branson?
Yeah.
That was like 4 miles from where I was staying.
Yeah, I have to do Cracker Barrel. We're gonna do a lot of Cracker Barrel in a couple weeks. It's gonna be a lot of Cracker Barrel farts. Cracker Barrel farts. The best time to fart is a barrel fart. I rented a minivan.
It
'Cause we're old
echoes.
now. Because we're like in our 50s. Not yet, but we're there. We're close. We're getting
I'm
there.
not there.
We're knocking
Not
on the door. My dick still work, guys. Did YouTube get that? But
Prove it.
it's like
Oh!
that's right. That's right. That was for spookable hauntings. What a creepy.
I agree with you. Billy Gales is overrated. It's not bad. It's not great.
Is that a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a pancake place in Branson.
Yeah, we passed by that. And then we saw
There's one
Lambert's.
in Springfield too, or like in between Branson and Springfield.
Hey,
But I think the original is
there's a
Indian
Buc-ee's.
Point.
There's a Buc-ee's not too far from you in Springfield.
Yep.
You get a chicken burrito.
Those chicken burritos are life-changing, Jason Huffman.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, every time I'm in Branson, at least one time we go to the Shoney's breakfast buffet.
Yeah.
It's a tradition.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys don't know either, if you listen to the beginning of the show, we don't take sides with the community. We just don't. I see a lot of people out there and I was just like, oh, I just don't. And maybe it's because I'm from the South. Maybe it's because I just look at things differently. I've always been the opinion. I mean, even Jeremy knows this about more than anybody. When I was thrown off PTF, like literally cast away from PTF because I made a comment. What was the comment? Like,
they were asking why ticket sales were bad, and you gave them a plan how to fix it.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh God, he has right ideas. Let's get rid of this guy." But I'm pretty good at ticket sales. Still am. Even I know I retired this year. I'm just doing privates now. And my privates. Oop.
No.
Okay.
Stop touching it. Hands on the desk.
If you touch it, it grows. This is the after hour show. But I don't know, man. Like I just everybody was just like had to weigh in. Like, I gotta say something. And I'm like, okay.
You don't have to.
Like, how many and this is the thing, how many times have you been to places where you don't know who the owner is?
Most of the time.
Most of the fucking time. So it's just like, if you're in a tourist trap, like a Lizzie Borden, right? I don't give a fuck who the owner is. This bitch went to town, bro. She went to town with an axe. I gotta see that. I gotta see it.
I mean,
it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like hating Kroenke, or it's like anything. You hate the owner of teams, or you hate the owner of, yeah, but you're a Dolphins fan. I fucking hate Stephen Ross. He won't die. He's like 178 years old. He's owned the Dolphins longer than the Dolphins have been around.
his first Dolphin was a live one.
It was Flipper.
Flipper.
But the worst fucking owner in sports is Stephen Ross. I fucking hate him, but I'm not going to stop being a Dolphins fan. Like, it's just, I don't understand the hate, dude. Like, because I have a feeling, Jeremy, like, oh, he likes it. Okay. What's the alternative? You don't support him. The property loses money. He forecloses on it. And then what? It's gone forever.
They're going to buy it.
They're going to there it is. There it is. Right there. Why didn't you buy it?
Why didn't you book with Stephanie?
It comes back to those two questions. It comes back to those two things. Like, you were looking at one necessary condition from a law standpoint. You were looking for one necessary condition to prove your argument to be correct. And just like an LSAT question, it's a stupid fucking argument. Because you can't. That's why. You can't afford to buy it. So instead of doing that, you're just going to what? Try to tear it down and tell people not to go there. So what then happens? That we lose history? So your alternative is we lose history. Brilliant. All because of what? Because of what? Because something he did to somebody, or
That I don't know the story.
lawfully did something to somebody and won? Like, fucking stupid. It's dumb.
And there might be more to it than even we know.
Yeah, and there is. There's always another side to the story. But I'll tell you one thing. I work with so many high-risk clients and so many wealthy people when you're doing the work that I do. They like being evil. They like being hated. They love it. They enjoy it. They relish it. It's part of who they are.
I don't think it sounds terrible.
No, people would rather be feared than loved. It's in business, especially. This is what that all comes down to. Do you think he fucking gives a shit? No.
None. Literally
Does not care.
none.
Like, so you're putting all this negative energy out there, and the only person catching bullets is Stephanie. Because Lance doesn't give a shit. He hasn't made a statement, doesn't care. He's not said anything, doesn't go on podcasts, won't talk about it. Just buys it, goes, moves on. And that's why I'm trying to say, like, I was just mystified by, like, people like, do you not think that this hurts history if you don't support this? Like, I had principle in not going to Disney World with my family because I think differently than their views. That's very different. I don't want my kids around that. I don't. I just fucking don't.
Yeah, Disney would be unhappy. Walt would be very unhappy with the direction.
And Disney has lost a lot of money.
A lot.
Like,
A lot.
their movies don't sell anymore. Nobody watches
Billions.
their shit. Like, it's bad. And they know it. And they're changing now. They're going back to calling the kids prince and princesses again. And welcome, good ladies and gentlemen. They've brought all that back because that's who buys your tickets, dude. It's business 101. Know your audience.
Audience.
Whoa, the fuck is your audience? You want to make a millionaire? I tell everybody this in my class. And I'll tell you what, 2 of my students have become millionaires because they followed the advice. You know how you become a millionaire? You create something new in an old category. Old category because people understand it. New because it's unique to you and they want to be a part of it. That's it. That's how Starbucks did it. That's how all of them did it. They created something new in an old category. That's how everybody gets wealthy.
Oh, nobody cares about Doctor Who
I
cares.
fucking love Doctor Who, man.
I can't stand it. It's boring.
Which season?
But I agree. They ruined
Your
Star
wife loves
Wars.
Doctor Who.
Fuck Kathleen Kennedy.
I love that a $1 million horror film beat Star Wars. That's what I fucking love. $1 million horror film beat a 26. Let's just really narrow this fucker down. 26 years old. 26 years old. $1 million beats a Star Wars film.
I love it.
Get the fuck out. That's business, baby. They're removing the sequel character from the theme parks and are reverting back to old ones.
They need to stick with the first 3 movies. Everybody knows this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They destroyed Star Wars.
And fuck
Marvel-
that Ewok movie and fuck the Ewok adventure movie. I saw them in the theater. I cried on the way home because Wicket got stepped on.
I
But
love
fuck that movie too.
I love when they killed him. I would have eaten him after that. I would have roasted that Ewok.
I love Wicket. He's my favorite Ewok.
If you're just joining us,
Oh, the
we're talking
holiday
about
special.
eating Ewoks. Because why the fuck not? What the fuck was Clone Wars? What the fuck was Clone Wars?
What the fuck was happening? There's just a whole bunch of Django Fetts just Djangoing around.
It's just
Betting.
awful. Just driving through St. Louis and seeing so many old buildings that would be awesome to investigate, but are deteriorating to nothing. Yeah, it's because of our mayor, our wonderful mayor, who just denied the $67 million that was supposed to go to the police department so we could secure the city. Imagine that. Thank you, Mayor Kara Spencer. Still has 5 unsolved homicides in the district that used to be the alderman of. 5 unsolved homicides. Good job. She's the mayor now. This is what we do. It's what we do in St. Louis. Good old St. I love that I'm on a show tomorrow, and it's called like Transplanted, and it's for people that live in St. Louis from other places, and then there's like this questions, and they want our view on St. Louis. And I told my PR person, I'm like, they knew who I am, right? Because it's gonna come. I'm bringing the fire. I eat Ewoks with it. Yes,
It's of course Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip.
You need the tangy zip.
They're a little gamey. You need the tang. Yes. Right. Exactly. It is so bad in St. Louis that other police departments moonlight at Cardinal Stadium now because there's not enough metropolitan police departments. There's not enough police in the city because we can't fucking pay them. So they have to moonlight. So the St. Louis Cardinals, out of their own money, have to hire cops from other districts and counties to come and keep people safe. Because we have $750 million that we won from Kroenke that we just don't want to spend. No, I think you fucking did spend it. I think it's in most of the politicians' pockets. That's what I fucking think. Just doesn't make sense that this has been going on. The Rams have won a Super Bowl and you still haven't spent the fucking money? Like, I don't get it. It's awful. But you're right, Jay. I mean, like, shit. You could still film Escape from New York there.
Yep.
And not have to do anything. You don't even need AI. Just hit it. There we go. Awful city. Awful times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful evening. We look forward to your emails and your hate.
I hate Star Trek too.
Why is my thing not working, Jeremy?
Oh, I thought you said your penis did work. Liar.
That's the American fucking way.
Well, you were looking down and saying, why doesn't it work?
This has been The Good, the Bad, the Ugly on Lance Zoll. You decide. We just report. Clearly, a lot of people are not going to the new McInteer. That's okay. You heard it here first. We were the only podcast. We were the only podcast that gave you both sides of the story.
You too, Chuck.
Yeah, have a good time, guys. I can't wait to see your pictures online on the Cryptid Fest in Little Rock, Arkansas. But yeah, you heard it here first, guys. We hope that you guys start evaluating arguments and looking at both sides, because I think it's going to make our field so much more rich if we understand where everybody's coming from.
With jazz hands.
Everybody has opinions. They're like assholes. Much love. We'll see you next Thursday as Jeremy rides out with hemorrhoids.
I don't have hemorrhoids.
Bye, guys.